Game started.
Oh, we got a game. Okay, e4. I haven't played a Sicilian in a while. Let's try this. Dunkel from Spain. All right. d6. Okay, so far we're just doing the main line of the Sicilian. And I like to play this knight c6 move here. This is called the classical Sicilian, I guess. Other moves are a6, which would be the knight orf, or g6, the dragon, or e6, which would be, I guess they call it the Scheveningen structure. Okay, so he's going down bishop e3. I transpose into a knight orf structure at this point by playing e5. I don't know if I can say what the logic is. Maybe it's to slow down this f4 push from white, but I've just noticed that when he tries to set up this bishop e3 and pawn to f3, the so-called English attack, it's better to put this pawn on e5. Just my experience. Okay, so now this knight could come in here, so I'm going to play a6. So this is now a knight orf structure with these pawns here and these pawns here. And he's going with bishop e2. So it looks like he's going to castle on the king side. So my plan here, well, let's first make sure I can castle. But I want to get in an early d5 and eliminate this backwards pawn here, which is a bit of a weakness. And he could have tried knight to g5 there, attacking that bishop. So as it is, I think I can go ahead and safely push d5. Now let's see, takes, I take, he takes, I take, and yeah, it looks like it's good. Because the one weakness in the knight orf structure is this backwards d pawn, and if you can eliminate it, then you get an equal game pretty easily. And we'll see at this point if I've overlooked anything. About here's where the mistakes would start to pop up. He just kicks the bishop. Okay, any good squares for the bishop? I could think of going here. Doesn't matter, or come back here. Back here, I keep the pressure on the pawn here. I'm still looking at his king side, and I can retreat maybe to g6. Let's try that. This pawn is a little loose. He might have an idea of kicking this knight. And there, and then retreat to g6 here. And I'm going to castle on the king side. This square is weak here too. Sometimes a knight, his knight's not in the right position, but sometimes a knight will support a bishop on these squares, or a bishop will support a knight over there. I am just going to castle. He's going to chase my knight away, but this pawn is not under attack right now. So if I castle, he pushes, I take, he takes. I have to move my knight. I go to this square, I think. I could also consider going to that square. Okay, let's castle. I think it's safe, and see what he does. One thing I might consider is putting my bishop on f6 and then pushing this pawn. hitting his rook here. Maybe make it a little uncomfortable for that rook in the corner. Let's see, what other ideas do I have here? Knight to this square, knight to d4 is an idea. Yeah, he's hitting that knight immediately. He could take and isolate my pawns, or he could push, chase it away, and take this pawn, which is that's probably his idea. So I think I should defend that pawn with a move like queen c7. I still think I'd like to get in bishop f6, then I could play something like knight to e7 to f5. Okay, queen there. Do I want to do bishop f6 now? Yeah, this sets up a double threat, a threat of a double attack. The bishop on the rook and the pawn when it moves forward hitting this bishop. So I think he needs to do something about that. And then I just want to bring my rooks to the center. And I think I have a comfortable position here. I could think of playing knight to f5. Okay, that's clamping down on my idea. So what I will do here, maybe queen to e7 to defend the bishop, so I can take back with the queen. I could play, let's see, no, he takes the bishop with check, so I don't really have any intermediate moves I can play. I either have to defend the bishop or move it or allow those pawns to be doubled. Let's see, if I move my queen to e7 and he kicks the knight doesn't really have any good squares to go to, so maybe the other thing I can do is just take the knight, and he's got two bishops then. But that gives me a tempo to bring my rook into the center, and I can think of playing something like knight to knight to d4. And bishop takes, pawn takes. It could be a good pawn there. And then I can put my other rook in the center and start going after this bishop. Okay, he's attacking on h7. So let's just move the pawn out of the way. So I still want to play rook e8. Ah, he's attacking that pawn. Well, he can attack my pawns all over the board, it looks like. Yeah, he has good control of the light squares. So he's got a light squared bishop, and I have a dark squared bishop. And it looks like I want to keep the rook there to defend that pawn for a while, looks like. So let's see, I could put the queen here and threaten to play the move b6 to b5 and undermine this bishop. Now the bishop can move here and attack my a pawn. Oh, it's defended. Actually, I think White's in a little bit of trouble here. I don't see a good move for him. If he takes or pushes this pawn, I take the bishop. If he does nothing, I take the pawn. Yeah, he can do nothing. I can take the pawn and he can take back. He can attack my queen. Let's see, I could trade queens. So if I take the pawn first, he could trade queens and then take the pawn back. And, well, I get all my pieces out on dark squares, I guess. So, what can I do? Maybe rook e8 to e2. Try and get into his back rank here. 7th rank. This rook is defending this pawn over here for the moment. Yeah, I think just activating my other rook. So all my pieces are out, finally. It's always a good rule in a chess game to get all your pieces out. I guess the other way to play it would have been maybe rook to b8 to go after this pawn and try to play a4. But if he pushes past, that's a little bit dangerous for me. So maybe this is safer here. So White's plan, I think, is just to push these pawns forward. Okay, but first he provides a little space for his king because he can't lift that rook until the threat of checkmate is gone. So let's play over here. Now he can move this rook with tempo because there's a threat on my rook from the bishop, but I didn't see any great moves. He could have tried taking there. But I take with the bishop hitting his rook. Don't know how that would have turned out. Okay, if I take this pawn, bishop takes, then maybe this square. Trying to get to a square where I can chase his rook away and get my pawn mobile. Aha, he's not going to allow it. Okay, this move should temporarily freeze his pawn. Then, yeah, bringing his king in is probably a good idea, huh? I'll do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to get my king all the way up to this square here and then consider my options. It gives some mobility to my rook. And I can also threaten to win the exchange here. I mean, lose the exchange. Rook takes, pawn takes, king takes. Now the question is, do I want to do that? We leave him with the rook against a bishop, and he can win this pawn, it looks like, by chasing my bishop away. So I don't like that. How about if I play rook to this file? Then, let's see, there's no way to get my king any closer, is there? Okay, I'm going to maneuver my bishop a little bit. Maybe if the bishop were here, I could threaten the move rook to e3, and also keep this pawn at bay. Ah, he went there, defending the bishop. Okay. Yep, attacking the rook. Also threatening rook to here, check, and winning the bishop. So I am forced to play this move. That was a neat trick. Yeah, I missed that almost missed that one. That's why you keep playing on. Your opponent might miss things like that. And this rook and bishop versus rook is not so simple. When it's just bishops, this might be a very drawish kind of endgame here. I want to take with the bishop so my king can come forward and help this pawn pass. Help my passed pawn make progress. But this should be a draw at this point with the rooks off, nothing but bishops. We've got not much to play for here. So if he offers a draw, I will accept it. Yeah, there's not much to play for here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think he can come forward. Maybe he can because of the his bishop putting a restraint on that pawn. So king here is a possibility. Yeah, this is still going to be a draw, but it's a little trickier now. Because he's going to have the extra pawn. If he pushes the pawn, I can't take it because I have to hold on to this guy. Yeah, sad. But he has to push the pawn again now. Now I can stop it. Aha, he's entered into a pawn race. Ah, he's got this move here. And I have two pawns, and he just has one. So he has to stop the pawn now with his bishop, and then I can push the other pawn. And he can't stop both of them, so we will both queen. He queens first, though, so maybe he's going to win this one. This might be... Queening first is a big advantage.
Checkmate.
Yeah, that's a big advantage. All right, nice game, Dunkel. And here, I'll upload this, and I'll do a post-mortem on it, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon. Bye.